Hi, Kyle. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm okay. All good.
I know one of the things we're talking about, plenty here, but you're part of a compilation for Rock Against Trafficking, right? Covering the police's Roxanne.
I am. And, obviously, Kyle, getting into this, I had to educate myself because we as a people in America, I'm being respectful when I say this, we don't know the statistics of what it is and how many people get abducted. But let me just tell you, Kyle, this is second behind drug and alcohol addiction. The billions of dollars each year are changed hands. Can you imagine someone coming into your home in the night, and taking a sibling, a parent, a kid, whatever, and then you never seeing them again? To know unthinkable things are going on. And our job is to carry the message to everyone listening and reading and carrying the message that we must come together and help one another to stop this from happening.
It's such a crazy thing that this is still, happening in 2018, but you're right. As I look at those statistics, too, it's just kind of mind-blowing how widespread the whole thing still is.
Elizabeth Smart was one of the lucky ones, when she found her way back to her family. But, it's when, I've been involved in this for a while now, and knowing what I know, I'm eager to tell Americans, my family of Americans, that we've got to educate each other on this. I can't imagine someone coming into your home and doing that, and then knowing that you've lost her, always waiting and hoping they'd come back. But no, child slavery, kidnapping, abductions, it's going on as we speak.
And to kind of spread the word about this, there is the compilations put out there. You covered Police's Roxanne?
Yeah, it's all police songs. It's a good call because Sting is an incredible songwriter, and he only writes about the human condition, and this is what we're all about, by the way. I only really like to write and sing songs about human condition, and when I was singing Roxanne, I got all caught up in the lyric, and, obviously it's not about what this project is, but to me, I took it there about, the loneliness and about, sadness, and because we want people to understand that this is a very sensitive issue, and we must educate one another.
Yeah, it's an interesting turn for that song, too, because, in those original lyrics, you don't have to turn on the red light, and we all know sort of what he's talking about there. But then for you to give it backstory in sort of a really interesting way, an unfortunately horrible way, but an interesting way.
Well, you know what it is? I'm singing at the start of the song, Love You Since I Knew You, I Wouldn't Talk Down to You. I'm basically singing to those poor unfortunates that have been taken, and I'm also singing to the people that are taking. I want people to know that I'm not frightened of this, and it's something that, I'm going to, meet head on as we move forward, because we've got to be of service, Kyle.
I want to talk about some of your other projects you got going on, because you are one of the busiest men in all of music, it seems like. I just spoke to your buddy Joe Satriani, a week or two ago, and you're part of his latest record, too.
Yeah.
Was it a big challenge for you to be part of a vocaless album?
No, isn't that crazy? I mean, you gotta get a visual. After each song, I'd say to Joe, "You didn't hear a vocal line in that song?" I was kind of half joking, because that's the only album I've ever done where I didn't sing, and I've done over 150 records. So, it was, it was beautiful for me to just play bass and rest my voice for a minute,
Yeah, I mean, the irony, of course, is the voice of rock is completely silenced.
The voice of rock is in the building, and he's gagged.
Yeah, he's gagged. It's a really fun record to listen to. I love what you guys did on that.
It's a great. We played in LA on Friday night, Chad and I with Joe and Phil and John Petrucci. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I saw some of the clips on that. I know you've got a tour coming up where you're going to be playing Deep Purple songs, the classic Deep Purple songs that you were part of, and some of the other ones.
No, Carl, what I'm doing is I've never really embraced the heritage of a complete Glenn Hughes Deep Purple show of all the songs I wrote and contributed back in the day, and I've never really ever done a complete show. We started touring last September, October in Australia, New Zealand, and now we're going to be in South America, and then we're going to be heading over to Europe to do all the festivals. Then I'm coming back to play Pacific Rim and then go to Africa and then finish up in North America early next year.
I mean, there's so many different eras for you to sing from. What brings you back to those Deep Purple songs? What is it that really attracts you still to that era for you?
What I do, Kyle, I get into character. I kind of remember the way it was, and I'm not really one that likes to go back. But now I'm looking at my life. I've been doing this for 50 years now, and looking at what I've done and being inducted into the Hall of Fame and all the awards, all that's fantastic. Don't get me wrong, I'm very appreciative. But if I'm going to do a show like this, and by the way, it's a full production show, and if I'm going to do a show, I'm going to honor the legacy, and what I'm actually doing, Kyle, is I'm playing arrangements from live recordings from the 70s, not studio. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting mix. So it's a bit of California jam, it's a little bit of made in Europe, a little bit of made in Japan. It's like a live combination of it's not studio arrangements, it's more of a wild live arrangements of songs.
I can't wait to see what that looks like, sounds like, the whole thing. It sounds like a lot of fun. And,
yeah, it's fantastic. Really, really happy, man. Really grateful.
And then, of course, Black Country Communion. Like I said, there's so many things to talk to you about. What's the update there? Because now it's back on. You got a new record?
Well, Joe and I got together and we wrote in my studio the whole record. And, we just did a couple of big shows in the UK, and we're going to do a cruise at the end of February down to Miami to Jamaica, which will be fun. And then we all go our separate ways. Jason's, of course, got the Led Zeppelin experience. Derek's got Sons of Apollo, a band with Mike Portnoy. And I'm doing GHDP Classic. So what we're trying to do, Carl, is we're trying to keep the boat flowing as we all do our individual things. And long may that continue.
The really cool thing about how you write, and especially on that last record, is what you said. You were writing about such specific topics, really minute, specific topics, and it seemed like it was almost like a writing workshop for you to kind of get in that. Because I mean, killing dolphins was one of them. Like I said, I mean, where do these ideas arrive for you?
Well, as you can, if you read the lyrics on the albums I write, everything I write since I've been clean and sober, it's all about giving back and being of service. When I changed my lifestyle all those years ago, I wanted to give back. I asked my higher power if I could just have one more day on this planet, I'd give my love back, and that's what I do. And I'm very involved with charities, especially, animal, the dolphin. I'm an ambassador for Dolphin, Rico Barry's Dolphin Project, where each year between October and March, hundreds of thousands of dolphins are slaughtered and for captivity or killed or for human consumption in Japan. And it's a humongous tragedy. And my job is to carry that message. And the song, The Cove on Black Country, is a bit of an epic song, and I get all teary in that song. And I want people to know that I just want to be of service as long as I'm alive on this planet. I just got to give back.
That's a great mantra right there. I really appreciate everything that you've done in art and for music and for the fans. And it was a pleasure talking to you, Glenn.
Thank you so much, Carl, and have a great, great day, everybody. And peace and love.
All right, take care.
Thank you, Carl.